Senate. Joining me now is a member of the Turnpike Authority Board for 50 more days. Work hard, Mary Connaughton. How are you, Mary?
I'm doing well. How are you, Jim?
Jim Aloisi's gone. Why?
Well, the new transportation reform legislation really changes the way that transportation is going to be managed in this state. No longer will there be a Secretary of Transportation. The new legislation makes no mention of a need for one. There'll be a 5-member board, uncompensated. They don't get paid. The governor appoints them. They have varying degrees of skill behind them with, in terms of transportation finance, civil engineering, and other skills and transportation experience to make sure that they're qualified. Now,
so what are you saying? You're saying he's leaving because there was no place for him?
Well, first let's explain the new structure. And underneath that board, and by the way, that board appointed by Patrick will be in place until October of 2013. The Patrick appointees will have a majority. So Governor Patrick's team will, even if he's not governor, will be managing transportation for a long time.
Not likely to be on that board, you know?
I doubt that.
But I still don't get this. So is it the job's too small, the job's too big?
Well, it's interesting. The new secretary role is actually that of an executive director. A person who really rolls up his sleeves and gets involved in the administration of implementing the policy.
You don't think he's gone because Deval Patrick's running for re-election and Aloisi has been like a lead weight around his neck in the minds of many people?
I think there were certainly a lot of considerations here, and it's hard to say what happens behind closed doors. Clearly, the public had some issues with Jim Aloisi.
Do you? I mean, you had that little kerfuffle I mentioned a couple of minutes ago.
We had our spars back and forth. Sometimes we actually agreed on some things, so it wasn't always a battle. He made some political blunders, I would say. I'd say what happened at the T with Dan Grabowskis was really bad for the state to have to incur that type of cost.
So both have time to have coffee now. Is this new mega transportation agency, briefly if you can, is that a good thing? Should we be happy as customers, drivers, riders? Should we be pleased about this?
Well, I don't know. There were different, the Senate bill, or the Senate said there was going to be $6.5 billion in savings over the next 20 years. I have a hard time believing that those types of savings are going to be realized.
Well, there's less administrative. Is it not by virtue of the fact that all these agencies are consolidated?
Yes, but that's not going to amount to $6.5 billion. What's going to be beneficial is that there be a coordinated planning effort on the part of the transportation folks to make sure that things run more smoothly. 45
seconds. We're going to talk about you for a second. Do you support the ballot question that would eliminate tolls in Massachusetts?
Well,
It's a yes or no?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
2, the rumors that you're running for auditor on the Republican side, are you?
I'm certainly considering it, and we'll be able to answer that question shortly.
When shortly?
By the end of this month, early next month.
And there are also rumors that 3 candidates for governor, one not being Deval Patrick, have talked to you about being their running mate. Have any of them? Baker, Myhouse, or Cahill?
There might have been some conversations at one point. Well, at this point, I'm not privy to say. But
so you're running for auditor?
I'm really considering it. I think that
if you were a betting person, would you bet on you to run for auditor?
I generally bet on myself.
So you would.
But listen, what's going on in this state, you see it, and reporters see it, that in terms of media coverage, the government is not being looked at as strongly as they could have been because it's State House Press Corps. There's just not the number of papers in there. We need an auditor that's going to be able to really keep an eye on things. If I'm that person, if I think I'm that person, I will run.
Candidate for auditor, pleasure. Nice to see you, Mary Collins. See you again soon. Next, I'm done yet, so please stay tuned.